Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sabrina from offering C. In here, I will present about article, and the title is Why Cancer and Inflammation. This article is by Seth Recognition from Department of Immunobiology, Yale University of School of Medicine, New Haven, Connecticut. This article is published by Yale Journal of Biology and Medicine, volume 20, volume 79 on 26 years. And this article is page 123 until 130. For the first, I will tell a structure of journal that I will present in my presentation. First, introduction. Introduction is for establish context of the paper and motivates the study or discussion. Second, purpose. Purpose is for indicates purpose or hypothesis outlines the intention behind the paper. Methodology is for provides information on design, procedures, assumptions, approach, data, or other. Fourth, the last, is conclusion. Conclusion is interprets or extends results beyond scope of paper, draw inference, point to application or wider implications. For introductions, I will tell a basic of cancer. From Folkman Girol, the research is over the last 20 decades has solidified the concept that tumor development and malignancy is the result of process involving both the cancer cells themselves and non-cancer cells, many of which compose the heterocellular tumor. A clear example of this illustrated by the requirement of neoangiogenesis for tumor growth and thus contributions of the vascular and endothelial cells. Cancer results from the outgrowth of allelonal populations of cells from tissue. The development of cancer, referred to as carcinogenesis, can be modeled and characterized in a number of ways. One way to describe this process is to illustrate the essential features of both cancer cells and tumors, the hallmarks of cancer. Cancer development requires the acquisition of six fundamental properties: self-sufficient proliferation, intensivity of two anti-proliferative signals, evasion of apoptosis, unlimited replicative potential, the maintenance of vascularizations, and for malignancy tissue, invasion and metastasis. Cancer can also be considered with regard to a stepwise the development functionally grouped into three phases. First, initiations, second, promulgations, and the last, third, progression. The purpose in this journal is this author will discuss the reflective relationships between cancer and inflammations with particular focus on how considering the role of inflammation in psychological processes such as the maintenance on tissue, homeostasis, and repair may provide a logical framework from understanding the connection between the inflammatory response and cancer. Next, inflammation can cause cancer. Can cause cancer. A state, long-standing inflammation secondary to chronic infection or deterioration precedes to cancer. How much such conditions lead to the emergence of innate cells? In the case of some types of viral infection, it is clear that virally encode encode genes can contribute to cellular transformation. An example of this are the transformative abilities of high-risk HPV medicated by the oncoproteins A6 and A7. However, many microbes associated with cancer cannot transform cells. For example, while certain strains of high pylori contains factors that affect host cell signaling, there are not classical oncogenes. In the face of massive scale that occurs in infection or non-infectious tissue injury, host cells must be repopulated by the expense of other cells. Often, undifferentiated precision cells such as tissue stem cells, there are into requests for this. Some cells must survive the injury and cells must expand to maintain cells number for a proper function tissue. Many inflammatory pathways function to medicate these two prerequisites of tissue repair. In an extension of its psychological role in mediating tissue repair or a strategy in host defense to infection, the inflammatory response may play a role in providing survival proliferative signals to initiate cells, thereby leading to tumor promotion. Next is inflammation can cause the cancer. An associations between the development of cancer and inflammation has long been appreciated. The inflammatory response orchestrates host defense to microbial infection and mediates tissue repairs and regeneration, which may occur due to infections to non-infectious tissue damage. Epidemiological evidence points to a connection between inflammation and predisposition for development of cancer. Long-term inflammation leads to the development of this dysplasia. There is evidence to suggest the inflammatory and immune system may inhibit the development of cancer. This may occur by two cancer-associated recognitions event. In tumor immunosurveillance, the host may have a dedicated mechanism to perceive and eliminate transformal cells. Adaptive immunostrategy of tumor associates also uh, an important means by which the immune system controls the development of cancer. Such topics will not be offered here. However, it seems the net effect or the inflammatory system is to positively affect tumor development. The relationship between cancer and inflammation is not simple and cannot be reduced to one current theory. Previous reviews have focused on various aspects in relationship between cancer and inflammation, such as the role of various inflammatory cells, mediators, or signaling pathways in cancer. The focus of this essay will be to discuss relations between cancer and inflammation along the organizing principle that inflammatory response maintain psychological process such as tissue homeostasis and repair after injury and that in role inflammation be essentially or perhaps inseparable aspects of tumor development. The research method use of author in this article is qualitative research, namely research that is descriptive and trained to use, analyze, process, and meaning or subject perspective in qualitative research is more highlighted compared to quantitative research. In my opinion, this journal has a qualitative method because in its descriptions, namely the author's opinion with quotes from other authors, Even the discussion there is no calculation or quantitative research. For the last, I will tell a conclusion from this article. Real innate pattern recognition pathways have in-care recognition secondary to microbial coordination, such as in hypoallergenic endogastric carcinoma. It will be important to determine relative conductivity of factors critical for microbial coordination and survival in the host. Response and host determine response in tumor development as well as to determine synergy between these factors. Such investigation may identify important information regarding why certain forms of chronic inflammation do or do not predispose of tumor development. Okay, this is a presentation by me. I'm so sorry if many mistake in my grammar or in my presentation.